What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back. Today we got another one from Mondo Toys. It's of course a timed pre-order window for Skeletor from Masters of the Universe, the He-Man television show from back in the day, and it's one of my favorite shows of all time, one of my favorite villains and characters of all time. So I'm pretty excited about this guy. It's 1/6 scale. Can it come to my collection? Or do I need to try and avoid that slippery ass slope? Stick around and find out. But if you guys like the video, hit the like button for me. Smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show. And let's get into it.
I give you Ben Thomas Showtime. Here we go.
Okay, everybody, so today again we are going to look at the Mondo Toys 1/6 scale timed pre-order window opening for this Masters of the Universe Skeletor figure. Now this thing comes absolutely packed. So the product includes the Skeletor figure himself, the Skeletor skull portrait, the Alcala skull portrait, Skeletor Mondo skull Redux portrait, the classic portrait, a fabric cape with wired frame, a fabric hood, a PVC hood, a standard chest armor, a battle chest armor with a bat emblem, a battle chest armor with bat emblem damaged, Dragon Blaster chest armor, Dragon Blaster wrist gauntlet with chain, articulated dragon figure, Smoke Blast attaches to the dragon figure, a Terror Claws mini comic version, the Havoc staff, the Power Sword, a battle axe, a fur faux loin cloth, hands with 2 fists, 2 C grips, and 2 dramatic hands, and a figure stand. Wow, that is a packed release. I don't care who says. Now, it's important to note that we're looking at the exclusive version, but I think this is the definitive version for this figure that's being teased. And I think it's really cool to note how all of these head sculpts have that articulating jaw. So while it comes with several options, you can make this figure have some really unique facial expressions, especially with how the eyes are inset on some of these. And I'm loving what I'm seeing with regards to the paint applications itself. Now, this figure, of course, right now is coming in at a $260 price range, which does feel high, I'm not gonna lie. That's getting real damn close to Hot Toys prices now, but I don't remember the last Hot Toys that came with this many items. Now, some would say, well, Ben, of course, Mondo can do it because this is more of an animated style figure. But I would argue that they are going above and beyond, especially with regards to this release, which is helping me at least see the justification of the price point. The soft touch wired cape being one of those, as well as the actual soft touch hood. I like that they didn't just give you the PVC hood like they absolutely could have done. They went above and beyond there, in my opinion. Now, this Skeletor, they feel that this is the definitive edition for a few reasons that I think are worthy of noting as well. So it's saying here, featuring some of the favorite accessories from the original Masters of the Universe mini comics and 80s Mattel releases. Everything about this figure is completely brand new, with improved functionality from top to bottom. Now, this is including new and improved waist articulation for a much wider range of motion, Skeletor's standard armor, and the Alcala portrait and Terror Claws reference that original mini comic series, while the classic portrait, the battle armor, and the Dragon Blaster's armor are callbacks to that 80s Mattel line. So they've really hammered home for people who are huge fans of Masters of the Universe. To be honest, some of these references are going above even my head. I loved the 80s television show, but holy cow, like that's a lot of particular options. Now, it also says this is the Dreadful Dragon minifigure, and it's completely articulated. Now, the Mondo Skull Redux portrait is an original in-house take on our favorite overlord of evil, with a fabric cape with a wired frame, plus both fabric and PVC hoods are there endless ways to display him. And yeah, I'm seeing that too. I really, really like this figure. I love the way that it's painted. I absolutely love the armor. To me, accessories don't necessarily make a figure, but obviously they complement it. Like, look at the difference in some of these photos. The way that cape flows past the figure itself, the way the claws look in different lighting. I like that this outfit also really hides a lot of the joints on the figure. Now, that's not necessarily a benefit for Mondo, where like they are filled with figure lines with joints. This just character design helps to hide it, and I think for me that actually helps me consider adding this actually into my 1/6 scale collection along with some of my more movie realistic figures. Whereas the Batman figure line I've actually avoided for the most part because of the amount of joints that you can see. Even some of the X-Men line for the same reason. This He-Man line though has been fantastic so far. Now, can you still see joints? Absolutely you can. Absolutely. If you look hard enough. But I think you can definitely pose them away a little bit. I think all of the accessories look well painted and actually made with some love. This doesn't just feel like they've thrown shit in the box. Look at the chain on the dragon even. Like, that is a really cool touch and not something I would have expected. The hand paint on these like metallic spiky gloves, crazy. The clawed gloves, I'm thinking this is awesome. For $260 American, when I look at converting that to Canadian, that still is getting over that $300 price point for me. So if I get this potentially sacrifices a Hot Toys release that I get, or even one or two almost X06 releases that I consider from Star Trek lines. But Skeletor is absolutely a timeless villain. He's an epic bad guy. He's got sincerity to him as well, though, which I think a lot of people don't necessarily always realize or remember. There's quite the character story behind this character, and that's something that really always did stick with me when it came to Masters of the Universe. So, guys, if I decide to pick this one up, do I need to also source the rest of the line? Keep in mind, we've looked at now together Trapjaw. We've looked at the Battle Cat. There's already right there almost $1,000 worth of investment into this line. This to add it, it's getting up there. If I wanted to go back and collect the He-Man as well, which I don't know how you can have a Skeletor necessarily without a He-Man, unless you're looking at just have a villains collection for your 1/6 scale. But I don't know, I would have a hard time not looking back for a He-Man like this. So you could pose these guys together. Maybe they wouldn't even be part of my normal 1/6 scale collection. Maybe I'd have kind of their own floating shelf of my Masters of the Universe He-Man collection. The folks who have got the other releases have had a lot of great things to say about them. I am really happy to hear that Mondo Toys has updated the waist articulation and the figure stance though, because I do know that that was a bit of a challenge for past releases. Now we also know that this is again a timed pre-order window. So it goes on sale on June 20th at 12 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and that's going to go through to June 30th. So from the 20th to the 30th, you'll have the ability to lock in a pre-order for this. In my experience, when I've seen these go up for sale, the majority of the time they do end up selling out. So I wouldn't necessarily sleep on this. If this is something that you feel like you'd like in your collection, I'd lock it in. Honestly, I think it's really, really cool. Now, do I lock this in over here at the Ben Thomas Show? And I say, I think yes. Honestly, I think I'm gonna get this bad boy. I'm really excited about it. I think it's really cool. And so I've been fanboying a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's an absolute badass figure. And this makes me want to hunt down that He-Man figure. But guys, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Are you picking up Skeletor, this 1/6 scale badass figure from He-Man, Masters of the Universe? Are you going to pass? Or do you guys just like looking at cool stuff like this and like chatting about it? Because honestly, that's okay too. That's what I've wanted to do with some of these other figure releases. But sometimes, for me, all it takes is the right figure to start the collection. And Skeletor here just might be it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, thanks for watching the Ben Thomas Show. If you guys liked the video, hit the like button for me. Smash the subscribe if you're brand new to the Ben Thomas Show. And I'll catch you guys on the next Mondo Toys figure preview video. Thanks for watching, everybody.
I'll be back.
Bye.